Hey, Sophia, how's it going? I just wanted to let you know that we got those really lovely oranges that you sent us. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be having them with Deb. I was just thinking of making some fresh squeezed juice for breakfast tomorrow. So anyways, I just wanted to thank you for always thinking of us.
Oh, Christopher, what a lovely message to get from you. Thank you so much for letting me know that they got there. I hope I didn't send too many for you and Deb. I wasn't so sure how much would have been good to send.
No, it's perfect, and straight from Florida, too. We really are excited to enjoy them. And it's actually perfect because we were just talking about trying to eat less desserts, so this will be a good replacement.
Well, I'm happy to have sent them to you, and I hope that you enjoy them. By the way, how is Deb doing? I sent her a message that I had shipped the oranges, but I never got a reply, and I was just a bit worried.
Oh, Deb is just fine, but she's been taking naps during the day, so that's probably what it was. I'm sure that she forgot to respond to you, that's all. She just has really bad memory, if you ask me. We are getting old, though, so I'm sorry if that worried you at all.
It's not a problem at all. I'm just glad to hear that everyone is doing okay. Sorry to be nosy.
Honestly, sometimes I think my wife could learn a thing or two from you, you know? Lately, she's been making up a bunch of excuses about being too sick to do anything around the house. It's actually kind of starting to bug me.
Well, it might not be an excuse, you know? I mean, given how hot it's been lately. I can't judge anyone for not wanting to move.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I don't think that's all that's going on here. I mean, she has been really against doing anything in the house at all.
Well, just take care of each other and make sure you're not pushing yourselves too hard, okay? I wouldn't want to hear that one of you landed in the hospital for heat stroke or something like that.
Oh, of course, I'll ask my wife what's been up with her and check that she's really as sick as she says. Oh, right, I actually wanted to ask you a quick question. There's gonna be about a week period in the summer when Deb and I are gonna be away on vacation.
Oh, really? So you two are planning on traveling somewhere?
Yeah, she says she wants to go to her hometown because there's gonna be a huge family reunion, so that's where we're gonna go.
Oh, I see. Well, that sounds like a good chance to catch up with a bunch of people you might have not seen for a long time. Anyways, thank you again so much for the kind messages, and I really am glad that you and Deb enjoyed the gift. But you would be traveling with Deb then, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It's been a while since her and I have gotten to take a trip together, so this'll be a good chance for that. Not to mention the fact that it really has been a long time since Deb and all her relatives have gotten together.
Yeah, I remember Deb mentioning to me once that the last time they did something like this was over a decade ago. But I guess it must be tough to coordinate with so many people. So are you going to try and make any stops along the way for the two of you?
Well, there are some nice lodges and hot springs around where her hometown is. I was thinking it could be fun to try and make it out of one of those and relax her old bones.
Well, as long as you two have some time to relax by yourselves, that's what's most important. Anyways, I guess I'll tell Dave that you two are going to be away for a while in the summer.
Oh yes, okay, please pass it along to him, thank you. Alright then, I think that's it for me. It's been lovely catching up with you, and make sure you're staying cool out there. And come over sometime soon, okay? It's been too long since I've seen my grandson.
Well, he really misses both of you too. But anyways, I also have some errands that I need to go and do. All of this talk of family reunions made me realize that it's been a while since I've sent anything to my own family. Maybe I should reach out to them soon and ask how they're doing. Hi there, Christopher. I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind asking Deb to check her phone for me?
Oh, hey there, Sophia. Is something the matter? Maybe I can help you out?
Well, I know that Deb is going to be visiting her family's grave in her hometown, and I was messaging her about sending flowers from us. But anyways, she hasn't responded to me, and I would really like to talk about this if possible.
Oh, you don't need to do that. You can just send anything you want here, and we'll be sure to take it over, okay?
Are you sure about that? I was just thinking of what kind of bouquet would look nicest, but...
I think that you have a great taste. You just pick something out and send it over, so don't worry about what it is. I promise that we're not that picky.
I see. But did something happen to Deb? I'm just worried because she hasn't been responding to me at all. Did you ask her about how she was feeling? Is she really actually sick or something?
No, she's just fine. Not sick at all, really.
Well, that's good to hear at least. Because I know her dad 3 months ago, and I was just wondering about how she was handling that. And the only reason I mention that is because I feel like it was around 3 months ago that she stopped getting back to me. I just wonder if she hasn't been feeling a bit depressed since then. Obviously anyone would take their own father dying quite hard.
Yeah, she is still quite sad about it. I think that you're right about that at least, but it's already been 3 months. I really am getting a bit sick and tired of her acting like this. I think that she's dragging this out just a bit too much.
You really feel that, Christopher? I don't know. I thought you would want to be a little more patient with her.
I have been patient with her, but the fact is her dad was on his way out of here for a long time, and I just thought that she would have already been more ready for when he did die. You remember meeting him in the hospital, right? He had been in there for a long time before that, and we all knew it was gonna happen.
Right. Well, I just wonder if maybe there was a big difference for Deb between telling yourself to be ready for it and then actually dealing with it.
I understand this, but her dad was already in his 90s. Had a good long life and just didn't think that she would be mourning for this long.
I see. Well, I understand where you both are coming from. But anyways, I really am just trying to get a hold of her. Maybe it would just be better if I went over in person?
Oh, sorry about that. I think we're gonna be leaving for our trip soon, so I don't know how well that would work.
Well, I could always just go and visit you both after you get back from your trip. I would love to hear all about the family reunion.
Right, I see. Well, I guess if that's what you want to do, then that'd be fine.
Sorry, what do you mean if that's all I wanted to do? What else would I be doing but visiting you two?
Sorry, nothing. I just have a lot on my mind right now. And I think that Deb is also busy keeping herself entertained.
Sorry, what do you mean by that? I thought you said she was too sad to do anything around the house.
Well, she certainly isn't doing anything around the house, but ever since her dad died, she's been going out a lot more. Even now, she's not even at home right now because she's out doing something. But just don't tell her that I told you any of this, or I'll never hear the end of it from her.
I see. Well, thank you for telling me that anyways. I really do appreciate it, and I am glad that she's well enough to go out and do things. But if you could just tell her to please get back to my messages when she has a chance, I would really appreciate it. I mean, she isn't even picking up when Dave calls her.
I see. Well, that's also good to know. I'll let her know that you were just a bit worried and want to talk to her is all.
Please do that. Thanks so much for talking to me about this, Christopher.
Sophia, are you there? Do you have a moment to talk? I have a small favor to ask of you, if you don't mind.
Oh, Deb! It's been so long since I've heard from you. How have you been? What is this favor you want to ask about?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that I'm on the bus on the way to your house right now. I'm so sorry to ask about this so suddenly, but I'm wondering if I can't ask to live with you and Dave for a while.
Wait, what? You're coming here to stay with us? Well, do you mind if I ask what happened? Is everything okay at home?
Well, I was kicked out of the house by Christopher, if you can believe it.
You're kidding me! Why would he do that to you? Why would he kick you out of the house? Did you two get into some kind of fight or something like that?
Well, I think it was a bit more than a fight, if I'm being honest. But my husband was keeping me locked up in the shed for a long time. He was upset at me for not sharing part of the inheritance I received when my dad died. He told me he wasn't going to let me out until I gave him some money. But I also knew that you were going to be coming over today, and I was just so embarrassed. I finally gave in and told Christopher the information he would need to get into my bank account. Then he finally let me out of the shed, but I was just so scared that he would try something again, so instead of waiting for you to arrive, I ran away.
Deb, is all this really true? I mean, you mean to tell me that that's why I couldn't get in touch with you this whole time?
Yes, that's why. I saw that you had been trying to get in contact with me about so many different things. I'm so sorry to have caused you any worry about this.
Deb, please, you don't have anything to apologize for at all. I mean, I'm just glad to hear that you're alive. I mean, I'm still just trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. I can't believe that Christopher would do that to you. I'm really sorry. I should have tried to come over and visit you all sooner.
No, this is not your fault at all either. I mean, Christopher was doing everything he could to tell you that he didn't need you to come and visit us.
That is true. He kept making up excuses whenever I suggested that I come over. But still, it's only you two living in that house. I should have insisted on going over just to give you both some company.
Actually, there's another reason why he didn't want you to come over. You see, Christopher has been living with his mistress this whole time. That's why he didn't bother chasing me after I handed over my bank account information. He already found someone else and was probably glad that I left on my own. But I really had no idea at all that he would have ever gone so far as to do something like this.
Deb, do you mind if I ask where you are right now? If you want to get off at a stop somewhere, I would be more than happy to go and pick you up.
Oh, Sophia, thank you so much. That really is so thoughtful of you. I'm just so shaken up. I don't think I've stopped shaking since I finally sat down on the bus. Feels like it's been so long since I had a decent meal. I can get off downtown and meet you by the university if that would work.
Yes, of course. I'll grab my things and head out of the house right now. Just meet me by the cafe near the gas station around there. You know the one.
That sounds good to me. But given that the university is at the end of the bus line, I won't be there for quite some time. I'll message you again when I get close. Thank you so much again for doing this for me.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that's true. You are coming all the way from your house. Okay then, I'll just be ready to leave whenever you message me.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry that you'll have to pick me up in this state. I feel haggard and smelly, and I would just love to take a hot bath.
I'm so sorry that you've been through so much, but I'm glad that you were healthy enough to get yourself out of there. I'll see you soon. Just please take care of yourself until then and stay safe, okay? I'll talk to Dave about this and we'll make sure to protect you. Don't you worry about that. Hey, Christopher. I was wondering if I could talk to you a little bit about Deb.
You want to talk to me about Deb? Don't tell me that she ended up going over there to you guys.
That's right. She got here last night and is with Dave and I right now.
I see. That woman really is gonna be the death of me one day, I swear. I really am sorry that you're having to put up with her nonsense right now. But if you really want to know, she ran away because I caught her cheating on me, and she said that she couldn't stand the guilt. But I had no idea that she would just turn around and run to you. Anyways, her and I are getting a divorce, so feel free to kick her out if you want.
Hold on a second. Are you trying to tell me that Deb was the one cheating on you? Because she says that you were the one cheating on her. When are you going to stop lying to me and start telling me the truth?
Sophia, I'm sorry that you've gotten dragged into this, but you should know that you can't trust a word that Deb says to you. She's a horrible liar, and she isn't afraid to say anything as long as she gets her way.
I really don't think that you know what you're talking about at all. I mean, do you not feel bad at all about what you've done to your own wife?
I'm telling you that she was the one who was cheating on me. Please, Sophia, you are letting yourself be tricked by Deb. I mean, did she even give you any proof that I was cheating on her? If you're gonna demand apologies from people, then the least you could do is at least show proof that they actually did something wrong.
And here I thought that you would just be an adult about this and own up to what you've done. But fine. If you're really going to act this way, then that's up to you.
What are you talking about? You still haven't shown me any proof at all. You can't just accuse me of cheating like this.
Say whatever you want. It isn't going to stop your house from being demolished.
What on earth are you talking about? Why would my house be demolished?
Well, because Dave is heading over to your house with his contractor friend right now.
But, wait, why would he demolish the house? Well, I live here. The house is mine. You can't do this.
You might live there, but do you know that it's Deb who actually owns the house, don't you? It has always been her house and you both living in it.
But, I mean, you're not really gonna demolish the house, are you? This has gotta be some kind of trick. I mean, who even is this contractor friend?
I already told you, he's an old friend of Dave's, and Dave called in a favor with him to demolish the house. And according to Deb, you and your lover should be away on a vacation right now. So then there's no one at home, right? Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
And you're really just gonna do this without any proof whatsoever?
It's no proof. I actually went back to the house with Deb and she showed me the clothes in there that certainly didn't belong to her. Not only that, but you had photos of you and this other woman on the wall, and in your bedroom. It was like you were trying to completely replace your wife.
No, it's not like that at all. You don't understand.
And just what don't I understand? Telling me that? I mean, you're not saying anything to support your own case, you know. But even your neighbors have backed up the fact that for a while now, a woman who is not Deb has been coming in and out of your house.
Okay, I get it, jeez. Just please don't go and demolish my house. I have a lot of really important things in there, and you can't just go and smash them all. Yeah, at least just let me go back home and pack up some things. Maybe then we can talk in person and try to settle this rationally, you know?
Oh, don't worry about that. We already did you the courtesy of moving your things into the shed. Nothing is going to be damaged when the house comes down. Oh, and by the way, when Deb came to us, we took her to a branch of her bank right away and changed all of her information so that you couldn't touch a cent of her money.
So you'd cut me off from her money then?
That's right. It was never yours to begin with, and you shouldn't have been trying to steal from your wife anyways.
But, please, okay, let me talk to Deb. I can't get in contact with her at all. She isn't answering my messages.
Do you really expect her to want to say a word to you after you treated her like an animal and locked her in the shed?
But I didn't even do that, please. This is all just a big mistake.
So you're still not going to own up to what you've done, then? Do you have any idea the state that Deb was in when she arrived to us? She looked like she had barely been eating. How could you treat someone like that? It's horrible!
No, you don't understand. She's just pretending, okay? She isn't actually hurt. I swear, you gotta believe me.
I really just don't know what to do with you anymore. I really misjudged you. But we checked out the shed and it was clear that someone had been living there for a long time. There was even a corner in there that she used as a bathroom. I wish you would just stop lying to me already and admit what you did.
Alright, I've had just about enough out of you. This is a matter for me and my wife to discuss, and you need to butt out. You tell Deb that we are going to get a divorce and that I will be taking half of her assets. Whether she likes it or not, she will be giving her part of the inheritance that she got.
What on earth are you talking about? You do know that you won't get things that she inherited as part of a divorce settlement, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
I mean that legally, things and money gotten from inheritance are a different legal category than normal assets. So divorcing Deb won't get you anything.
You're lying to me, that can't be right. You are lying to me, aren't you?
So, you're telling me that you really are doing all this without even making sure the law is on your side? You really are an idiot, do you know that? I can't believe that you did all of this to Deb for something that could have never been yours to begin with.
So, wait, you mean that I'm really not gonna get anything at all out of this? Please, just wait, hold on, I'll be home soon, I swear. Just don't do anything until I get there.
I'm sorry, but the cranes and wrecking balls have been demolishing the house for the past half hour.
My home? I don't believe this, what have you done?
I'm sorry, but the only person who should be taking any blame for everything going on right now is you, Christopher. After this, we never, ever want to hear from you again. And when Deb does contact you, it will be through her lawyer. Got it?
But I really needed the money. My new woman has expensive tastes, and I've already blown through all my savings for her. Please, you can't just abandon me like this. I really need the money.
And just why do you think that's any of our problems? Huh? The next day, Christopher and his mistress got back from their vacation to find their half-demolished house. Needless to say, they were left speechless. The demolition process slowed after that. And for the next 2 weeks, Christopher could watch as the house was torn apart, board by board. He took his things and tried to rent a hotel room, but was quickly running out of money. Knowing this, his mistress realized that he had nothing more to offer and left him. It wasn't long after that when Deb's lawyer reached out about the divorce. But that wasn't all. He was also being charged for kidnapping and illegally holding his own wife. Deb agreed to drop the charges if Christopher immediately signed a restraining order that would keep him away from her. Now, Deb lives with Dave and I. She's been through so much already that we do our best to make sure she doesn't work, but Deb insists on helping out when she can as part of her own recovery process.
Hey there, Hillary. How are you? When are you going to show me the footage from your wedding? Haven't you gotten back some of the photos and videos from there yet? Come on, I really want to see how things are going. Sorry, you want to see the wedding? I don't really understand. Well, I just mean that your wedding is a special day, and I'd love to see the photos that you had taken there is all. There must be so many happy memories already, right? I'm sorry, but I think that you were the only one having fun. I mean, I really kind of wanted to know just what you were thinking. What do you mean? Did I do something wrong? I promise that I really have no idea at all about what you could be talking about. Are you telling me that I might have done something to spoil the mood of your wedding or something? You know what you did, Gretchen. You showed up to my wedding dressed up like you were ready to go to a funeral. You scared my grandma so much she actually fainted when she saw you. Oh, well, I really am so sorry for the mix-up. It's just that those clothes were the only dress clothes that I owned. I really don't think that's true. I think that you did that on purpose, but I don't get why. I think you might have done it just because you wanted to try and ruin my wedding. Oh, you mean it really was that obvious for you to figure out? Well, it really didn't take all that much to understand, thank you very much. And just what's wrong with me showing up to your wedding in funeral garb anyways, huh? Your wedding was so depressing, it might as well have been a funeral. But why would you do this to me? Do you really have such huge problems with me that you have to do this? I already told you that I don't approve of you marrying my son. You know exactly how I feel about you. My son deserves a much better, prettier, smarter woman in his life. Not some selfish little brat like you. You aren't nearly good enough for him. Well, I'm sorry, but Robert chose me because he loves me. I don't think that you get to decide who's right for him. There you go again, talking back to me and forgetting your place. You really are a spoiled brat. Do you know that? Are you really saying that when you were the one who tried to ruin my wedding all because you have a problem with me? Because it wasn't just my family that you shocked. Even your own relatives were appalled at your behavior. What? You mean that they didn't think that it was as hilarious as I did? No, I don't think a single person at my wedding thought that what you did was funny at all, actually. Well, it doesn't really matter, but what does matter is that I'm your mother-in-law and you need to listen to me. My first order for you is to break up with my son and stay away from him forever. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. There isn't anything in the world that could break Robert and I apart. I see. Well, if this is the way that you want to do things, then I suppose you leave me with no choice. What are you talking about? What horrible plot do you have up your sleeve next, huh? Oh, nothing yet. But I'll just have to come up with something even more shocking and horrible. Something so incredible that it'll force you to run away and never come back. If you don't want to tell me what the problem it is that you have with me, that's fine. But just stay out of my relationship with my husband. You know, this is why I say that women just shouldn't go to college. You get one little degree and all of a sudden you think you know better than everyone else. Women like you get so prideful and then refuse to take no for an answer, even when it's their elders telling them. And that's the excuse you have for why you tried to sabotage my wedding with that little stunt that you pulled? Well, if no one else had as much fun as I did, that's their fault, not mine. I really just don't even know what to say to that. I mean, do you really not care that you were the only one laughing at my wedding? That's not true. There's a group photo that we had taken where everyone is smiling, don't you remember? I told you that there would be lots of photos to remember your special day. Oh, trust me, I won't ever forget this. Hey there, Hillary. Are you there? Do you have a moment to chat really quickly? I just wanted to make sure that you knew that next month was my birthday. Oh, really? I had no idea about that. Are you serious? Is that supposed to be some kind of a joke? Are you really telling me that you didn't even know your own mother-in-law's birthday? Well, I suppose I just never really even bothered to ask about when it was, so... I mean, do you have any idea when my birthday is? Of course I don't know when your birthday is. Why would I waste the precious space in my head with something like that? I don't care at all when you were born, and it doesn't matter to me in the slightest. But the fact is that I'm your mother-in-law, and you really ought to know this sort of thing about me. I see. Well, okay then. Thanks for letting me know that, I suppose. You really are such a useless daughter-in-law. Do you know that? I mean, you really should have gone and looked this up yourself. I shouldn't be the one having to tell you all of this. I really am sorry for the confusion. I promise that I won't let it happen again, Gretchen. Is there anything that you would like to do for your birthday? Any plans that I can put into motion for you? Actually, yes, I have a whole list of things that I would like you to get ready for me, if you must know. And since it's my birthday, you should know that if even one little thing goes wrong, I'm going to blame it all on you for ruining my special day. I'll be sure to bear that in mind. Thank you for the warning. Do you mind if I ask who you were thinking of inviting to this? Well, I want to have my party on a Sunday, and you're to invite all of my relatives here. We're going to have enough food for everyone, plus a giant cake. So make sure that you have all that ready beforehand. I'm sorry, are you telling me that I'm going to have to put all of this together myself? Well, of course you are, unless you have a problem with that. If you really hate the idea of celebrating your mother-in-law's birthday that much, you can just say so. It's not that at all. I'll be sure to get everything ready in advance of the party. That's all that you should have said from the very start. Honestly, when are you going to learn? Again, I'm so sorry for not knowing better. May I ask what kind of food you wanted to have ready for the party? I was thinking of really going all out with the food. I want huge fillets of fish, premium cuts of steak, a cake from the nicest bakery in town, and anything else amazing that you can think of. Not only that, but I want to drive to all the farms in the state and figure out which have the best berries so that we can all eat those with imported gelato. Gretchen, this sounds like it's going to be a very expensive party. If you really want all that food and enough for everybody, you're going to need hundreds of dollars. Oh yes, I have the budget, and it's sitting just comfortably under $1,000, actually. But anyways, it's fine, because you're going to buy it all for me. Hold on a second, you're telling me that I'm going to have to be paying for all of this? Well, of course you are. After all, it's my birthday. You don't really expect the birthday girl to pay for her own party, do you? I'm sorry, but even if I could afford to, I really don't see how all of this is going to be less than $1,000 now that I'm adding it all up. How about you just think of it as a present for me? Does that make you feel better about it? Also, speaking of presents, make sure to go out and get me a really nice purse, too. You want me to buy you a purse on top of all of this? And just what kind of purse were you hoping to get? Well, I'm not going to accept anything less than $5,000, do you understand me? So you want me to spend another $5,000 on you, on top of all the party preparations? I really don't think that I'm going to be able to do that. I think I'll only be able to pitch in to buy the food for you. Oh, please, I know that you work for a really big company. Surely you must get paid quite nicely as well, right? I don't see why you would have any issue with spending $10,000 on a party for me. Well, I'm sorry that you don't see any problem with it, but I'm telling you that I have some major ones. What, you mean like being a no-good cheapskate? Are you really trying to ruin my birthday party so far in advance of when it is? I'm not trying to ruin anything for you at all, and I don't think that's a fair statement. I'm just saying that I won't be able to spend that much of my own money on your party. We're still recovering from the wedding and the move. I just can't afford another huge purchase like those right now. Oh, why don't you just come out and tell me the truth, huh? Why don't you just say that you don't want to do this for me because you hate me? Just admit that you're a cheap woman who hates her mother-in-law and would do anything to see her unhappy. You are really not being fair to me at all. But if you want me to help, then we are going to have to downsize your budget. And that includes settling for a cheaper purse as a present, okay? No, that isn't fair. If it's not a $5,000 purse, then I don't even want to have to look at it. If you keep trying to shoot me down like this, then I'm going to force you to break up with my son. You can't really think that you'd be able to break up Robert and I, right? You think I can't? I'll do whatever I needed to do to make sure that you two break up and never get back together. Unless you listen to me and do exactly as I say, that is. So why don't you go be a good daughter-in-law and just tell me what I want to hear? You really want to have that huge of a party then, do you? Well, okay then, it seems like you're really leaving me with no choice. But if we're going to do this, let's just have the party at someone's house, okay? Are you kidding me? You really are just trying to cut all the corners you can, aren't you? I don't want to have the party at someone's house. I want to go out to an amazing restaurant or rent out a ballroom. I am telling you that that is just not going to be feasible with how much money you're already wanting to spend on this. Can we please just have the party at your house? I know that you have plenty of room to host the crowd that you're hoping to have. Well then, fine. If you're saying that is what I have to do to have the rest of the party go smoothly, then I guess I can let this happen. But you should know that you're going to be in charge of cleaning everything up once it's all over. Got it? It's my party and I shouldn't be expected to have to do even an ounce of work for it. Oh, of course not. I would hate for you to get your hands dirty with your own party. You won't have to do a single thing. Perfect! Oh, I really just can't wait. This is going to be the best birthday party ever! Gretchen, can I ask why you thought it was appropriate to kick me out of your house? I went through all the trouble of getting everything ready for your party just as you asked me to. The least you could do is let me come back inside and enjoy it with everyone who's there. Are you crazy? You really think that I'm just going to let you into my house? This is my birthday party, and you had the gall to show up dressed for a funeral. What is the matter with you, huh? I don't understand. Is there something weird about wearing funeral clothing to your birthday party? Of course there's something weird about it. This is a happy occasion. You should be wearing bright colors, not trying to bring the whole mood down. Well, I'm terribly sorry, but this was the only nice outfit that I could find when I got dressed this morning. I brought it over from my house to change into after I finished getting the food ready. You mean that you already showed up to my house in a different outfit and you changed into that on purpose? Why didn't you just stick to the clothes you were wearing? You have noticed that I'm not the only one to dress up like this, though, haven't you? I mean, don't you realize that everyone at the party is dressed as if they're going to a funeral? What in the world are you talking about? You mean that everyone is dressed just like you were? That's right. All your family is here in the hot, hot weather dressed in all black just to help you celebrate your birthday. But I don't get it. Why in the world is everyone dressed like that? What are they thinking? What in the world is going on here? I suppose that everyone else in your family only had one nice outfit to come in, just like me. And just like you, at my wedding. You should be grateful that everyone cared enough to come dressed up for you, though. Oh, come on, that's just ridiculous. Are you telling me that this is really just to get back at me for the way I was dressed at your wedding? I'm sure that I have no idea what you're talking about in the slightest. Give me a break. I know that you must have told everyone to come dressed up like this. Do they even realize this is all just part of a petty revenge plot? I'd be more worried about what you're going to do with all these people about to show up dressed just like me. Anyone who dares to show up to my party dressed like they're ready for a funeral is going to be turned away at the door. Well, then I suppose that means you're going to have a very lonely birthday party. Do you really hate all the black that much? You seemed to be having a blast dressed up like that for my wedding, remember? But this is my birthday. It's different. Today's supposed to be all about me. Don't you get it? Of course I do. That's why I invited everyone to come here just like you wanted. And I followed all your instructions about all the expensive food that you wanted me to get ready for your party. There's the fish, steak, fruit, and cake. It's all there just like you asked for. But I didn't ask for anyone to show up to my birthday party dressed like someone just died. This is supposed to be a day to celebrate me being alive. This is like the exact opposite. It's like everyone is just here to celebrate my dying. Well, that sounds to me like you have just a bit of an overactive imagination. I don't know if it's really all that bad. I mean, you do realize that everyone is here for your birthday, right? I thought that you'd be more excited to celebrate with everyone. Just admit it. Admit that this was all a plan that you came up with. Who's to say, really? Maybe we all just had the same idea and decided to come dressed like this. I don't believe this. This is just your way of saying that you wish I had never ever been born. You're horrible. How could you try and treat me like this on my own birthday? I didn't say anything like that in the slightest. Besides, if you weren't born, then I would have never met my husband. So I'm sorry, but I think that you're just projecting your own insecurities over this whole thing. How am I projecting anything when everyone is literally here dressed up as if someone has died? I just don't get why they would all do this to me. I suppose your family just knows how to play the long game. After all, no one went up to you and said anything when you showed up to my wedding dressed for a funeral. But it's only because we all knew that we'd have to get back at you another time. But this isn't fair. How was I supposed to know that what I was doing was wrong if no one told me to begin with? And either way, you still haven't excused yourself from being to blame for this. But I know that if I started crying and talking to people that they'd all go and change for me. Are you sure about that? I'm sure that there are some people in your family you could scare into doing that. but it certainly wouldn't be because everyone there respects you or anything like that. I knew that I should have never let my son marry you. It was a mistake ever letting you into my family. I should have kicked you to the curb the second I met you. Do you really dislike me that much, Gretchen? Am I really that awful to deal with? Because you should have known that I wasn't taking your crap because I'm weak. I just have more patience than you is all. So you admit it. You finally admit that you were the mastermind behind this whole plot to totally ruin my wedding. You might think that you've done something here, but you haven't done anything. I've known some of these people for over 30 years. No one from my family is ever going to betray me. Are you sure about that? Because we're all gathered outside here, so why don't you try getting people to change their clothes? I'm sure if you screamed at enough of them, they would go and put on normal clothes to help you celebrate. Well, maybe that is what I'll do. You give me just 1 second and I'll set this whole thing straight right away. We're all out here waiting. See you soon. Are you still getting ready to come out and talk to us? You do realize that all the food is outside, right? The only thing missing from the party now is you. I don't want to go outside, and I don't want to see any one of you ever again. Aw, what's the matter? I thought that you were getting ready to put us all in our place, no? Because we're still out here dressed in all black for your birthday. Nobody listened to me. I tried texting people, I even tried dragging people inside to yell at them one by one, but no one was listening to a word that I had to say. Wow, well then I guess we really are doing something closer to a funeral than a birthday. But it isn't a funeral, and it is my birthday! This is ridiculous! How could you all do this to me? Well, it's only a funeral if the person we're all here to celebrate isn't here. If you came outside, though, it would be much more like a birthday, you know. You must think that you're just so funny for doing this, don't you? Well, I'm sick of this game. I just want everyone to go home already. I'm sorry, but you invited us all here for the party, and we're not going to go until it's over. Besides, there's still so much food to be eaten. And you think I'm going to come outside and help you eat? You think I have anything remotely close to an appetite right now? But I worked so hard to make sure that all the food that you wanted was here. And everyone is outside having a good time chatting. Someone even brought a boombox and is playing music. I hate my family for doing this. How could they all stab me in the back like this? Even my son is out there dressed in all black. Why did everyone come dressed up like that? It's because when you showed up to my wedding dressed for a funeral, you weren't just insulting me. You were insulting your son. And people did try to warn you and ask you to change. You were just too busy gloating to notice. But you told me that you were plotting this for so long. My whole family was preparing for this behind my back. Well, you should come outside now, because this might be the last time you see some of these people. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a party to get back to. After that, people stopped inviting Gretchen to family gatherings. And nobody missed her at all when she wasn't there. Gretchen tried many ways to try and earn the trust of her family again, but it only ended in remonstrations from them as she tried to sneak into events. In the end, she realized that nobody wanted to deal with her any longer. She stopped trying to talk with anyone and became a recluse, barely leaving her home. The rest of the family was happy to see her go after all the horrible things she had done to others in the past.